Welcome to Stache Sports episode 50. Wow, 50 episodes already. Ryan Shazier wore number 50 and had a decent career with the Steelers before he got injured shortly due to a major injury where he was paralyzed at first. But luckily, with all the doctors' help, Ryan Shazier was able to walk again, even though the doctors, at the first thought of injury and first diagnosis of injury when they were trying to cure him, thought that Ryan Shazier would never walk again and be paralyzed. Unfortunately, he was unable to play football again. But luckily, like I said, even though the doctors thought he'd be paralyzed, he was able to walk again, which is a blessing, and has been doing stuff with the Steelers behind the scenes and coming and supporting on still. I've had a great career with the Steelers, even though I got cut short and should still be playing today. He had 202 solo tackles, 97 assists, 7 sacks, and 3 fumble recoveries and 7 interceptions in his 4 seasons with the Steelers before he got cut short due to a real bad injury. But Ryan Shazier was a great Steeler player. Yesterday, our number one commentator, baseball kid, wanted me to talk about Pebble Beach. I'm not going to lie, I was watching a hockey game, USA vs. Germany, which we'll get into later in this video, and watching the Daytona 500, the Super Bowl NASCAR racing. But yesterday, Pebble Beach, Colin came back and had a minus 22 and 1. Minhoo Lee came in second, a minus 21. Wow, what a close game. 2 tied for minus 21 for number 2. Scotty Scheffler almost had a comeback tour. I was seeing that Scotty Scheffler was making a comeback, had minus 20, got 2 short of the lead. 2 short of the lead and didn't win it. Congratulations to Colin, who won at Pebble Beach. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now in the golf world and who keeps winning these golf tournaments. Golf is starting to heat up. If you like golf, I hope you enjoyed the Pebble Beach tournament yesterday, and I hope you had fun watching it. But I was watching the hockey game and the NASCAR. Yesterday was the Daytona 500. Yesterday was the Daytona 500. I watched the last few laps, and Team Michael Jordan won. Michael Jordan, who was one of the greatest NBA players of all time, who played for the Chicago Bulls and won all of his champions, won a NASCAR championship too yesterday with Reddick winning the NASCAR race. What an interesting finish. There were a couple of crashes near the end there, but they didn't throw the caution flag and kept the checker flag, making Reddick the winner of the Daytona 500. I wonder how many people picked Reddick to be the Daytona 500 winner. That was quite a surprise. There's a buzzer beater. And his boss is Michael Jordan. It's nice to see Michael Jordan's crew win the Daytona 500, the Super Bowl race. The Super Bowl race. But we'll see what happens with that. Reddick and the Toyota car won the Daytona 500 yesterday. There was a wild finish with a couple crashes, and Reddick coming out clean in the crashes and going to victory lane and winning the Daytona 500. Congratulations to him. There's going to be plenty more NASCAR races coming up soon. This is just the start of NASCAR season. If you love NASCAR like people do, who knows our number one commentator, baseball kid, likes it. But if you love NASCAR, then there's going to be a lot more NASCAR coming up. But Daytona 500 was a decent race yesterday, and it wasn't too many major crashes or major anything that ruined the race. A decent finish, and congratulations again to Reddick, whatever his name is. I don't know if it's Lewis, that's somebody else. But congratulations to Reddick on winning the Daytona 500. Yesterday was the NBA All-Star game. Interesting format. I heard some people liked it. I didn't watch it because I was watching, I don't know what I was watching. I was watching wrestling, I think, then. But I didn't watch it. I watched the end of it and saw that Ant-Man won the MVP award because I was waiting to watch the Olympics last night in primetime on NBC because I didn't watch it during the daytime. But yesterday's school was. But congratulations to Team Ant-Man, who won the NBA All-Star game in the new format. If you like the format, please leave below. If you didn't like the format, please let me know what you think you could change in the comments. It's going to be an interesting debate to see what they could change in the NBA All-Star Game to make it more watched. I wonder how many people watch the NBA All-Star Game, because I didn't really watch it, and there's other sports on in the time that was going on. But we'll see. Kansas State fired Tang. So you can say the Tang has ran out in Kansas State. The men's basketball coach, Kansas State will be looking for a new men's basketball coach next year. They got Duke over Syracuse today at Duke. Syracuse is 15-11 and 6-7 in ACC play. And Duke is only one loss in ACC play. I do not think they're going to lose to Syracuse. I think they're going to be able to take care of Syracuse, and I think Syracuse is going to have an upset watch tonight. I think Houston beats Iowa State. Houston only has one loss, but we'll see. That's going to be a better game tonight. That's going to be a top matchup to watch. That's going to be a top matchup to watch between the two Big 12 teams, and Iowa State and Houston. Enjoy those games if you watch college basketball. Today in the NFL, Bradley Chubb for the Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill for the Miami Dolphins have both been cut. Some people are asking me if the Steelers should sign Tyreek Hill. It depends on how much the Steelers can get him for, in my personal opinion. If the Steelers can get Tyreek Hill for not that much money and have the Dolphins pay whatever they owe him, if they still owe money, then maybe. But he is 32 years old, coming off a dislocated kneecap and a torn ACL last season. But the Steelers are going to need receivers this year, because if we don't re-sign Calvin Austin III, all we really have behind him is Roman Wilson and maybe MVS still, if MVS hasn't retired. I know they're going to probably try to draft some. There's a whole bunch of good receivers this year in the draft, and I still need to look at the NFL Combine to see whatever receivers the Steelers could draft at 20. But they need receiver help no matter who the quarterback is, no matter if it's Aaron Rodgers or whoever it is. The Steelers are going to need more receiver help than Roman Wilson, or maybe MVS. But we'll see. If Tyreek Hill doesn't want that much money, and maybe he's worth a flyer, it's going to be interesting to see. He is 32. Does he still have all the speed? Will he still have all the speed he had coming off a torn ACL and a dislocated knee? Or will it slow him down since he is older and he's coming off a major injury? Will he be ready for day one? I don't know. Will he be ready for week one? I don't know about that. But who will sign him? Maybe he might go back to Kansas City where his career started. But it's going to be interesting to see where Tyreek Hill goes and Bradley Chubb now for the Miami Dolphins. I guess the Miami Dolphins are going in either direction. They still have Waddle as a receiver, but now they don't have Tyreek Hill. And they lost a good defensive player in Bradley Chubb. But they did have a high bill. So maybe they're trying to get some money into the salary cap so they have money to sign draft picks and future free agents. But we'll see. I wonder if that means Tua is going to be next out the door for the Miami Dolphins. Because he is one of the other names to be talked about is Tua. Will he be the next one out for the Miami Dolphins? But who knows? But right now, Tyreek Hill will be finding a new home. He's a free agent for the first time, an unrestricted free agent for the first time in his career. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him and where he goes and where to go from here and where he goes. But we'll see. I wouldn't mind him on the Steelers maybe if he wasn't getting that much money. But I also don't know. I also got to look up whatever free agent receivers there are this year if we don't re-sign Calvin Austin. Because if we re-sign Calvin Austin, I still want them to probably try to draft a number 2 receiver in the draft and see if Mike McCarthy and the new coaching staff can help mentor this kid and being a good number 2 or a future number 1 receiver. And have that young contract, a cheaper contract too. And know we have a younger guy that's a rookie trying to prove himself. Maybe Cardinal Tate can last that long, but I know my friend Robbie doesn't think Cardinal Tate can last that long. But that's just one of the names I can think of. There's probably other receivers too that could get high in the first round. But I'll be looking more at the NFL Combine stuff later to see who I think the Steelers should draft at number 20 if they don't move up, since the draft is in Pittsburgh this year. But I don't think they need to draft Ty Simpson. Yes, I do know that the Steelers need a quarterback, but they need to look at what Will Howard can do. And yes, I know people are going to joke at me, make fun of me like baseball kid, but he is a 6th round pick. We got to see what he can do. Who would have thought that the last round pick, I'm not trying to compare him, but who would have thought the last round pick of Brock Purdy would have been as good as Brock Purdy is? Maybe it's just a system, and they need to have a good system. But who knows? But a lot of people do think Aaron Rodgers is coming back this year, but he hasn't made up his decision. But I do think the Steelers need to draft a receiver in the first round and address that need. They do need a number 2 receiver, no matter if Calvin Austin the first comes back. They still need a good receiver because, like I said in plenty of videos, I don't know what's going on with Roman Wilson, but he was absent last year and didn't really have much of an impact when he was healthy. In the first year, I know he was injured, but I don't know what's going on with him. They don't know. I don't even know if they know what's going on with him, but who knows? The Pirates officially brought Marcell Ozuna up and they DFA'd Jack Sawinski. As a Pirates fan, it's sad to see Captain Jack go, but Captain Jack really did never have any good hit. Captain Jack was not a good, consistent hitter and was always hitting on the 100s or low 200s. So let's hope this move with Marcell Ozuna as our DH can be good. I know Jack Sawinski was okay, but like I said, he never really amounted to anything here, and it was time to move on. The Pirates are trying to move in a new direction, even though they don't have as much money as the Dodgers to be signing people to $100 million contracts, which I think is ridiculous, and I think the MLB needs to have a salary cap, and I think they need to have a lockout next year to talk about a salary cap or salary floor to help the Pirates. But anyway, Jack Nowinski was an okay hitter. Maybe he might go like our other players and explore somewhere else, but I just don't think he was right here. Who knows, they might get him back if he doesn't get claimed by anybody, but it's good to see Jack Nowinski go, and the Pirates are trying to move on from hitters, get hitters to have better overall hitting in their system this year when we have Paul Skeens, who's arguably one of the best young pitchers in all of MLB baseball right now. And we know, as a Pirates fan, for 30 years of my life, once they become good, we're not here for long until they get traded or dealt to the Yankees or Dodgers or sign with them. So let's hope that all these offseason moves right now are helping the Pirates win and make a better offseason and better season and not have a really crappy season like they did last season. Let's hope this is the right stuff that the Pirates need to do. But we'll see. So last night was the Olympics. Yesterday, the USA men's hockey team won 5-1 against Team Germany. I really do like Germany. I even though I wasn't ready for Germany, I do like Germany's uniform with a little bird thing on front of it. I really think that the USA hockey team should change their uniforms and have a bald eagle around in the middle, in the front of the uniform with an American flag wrapped around it. I think that would look pretty sick going against other NHL teams having a bald eagle with an American flag wrapped around it. And they're just USA. But I mean, they are nice jerseys. It's just my critique on how to make them a little better. But we'll see. The Olympics were good last night. We had some qualifying for dancing and other stuff. The USA women's team is looking pretty good this year. They also won a game today. But yesterday, Canada won 10-2. Wow. But yesterday, the United States won 5-1 against Germany, like I said. They started off slow, like the United States have done in all the stages so far, but they finally got it going with a late goal in the first period. Finally got the score going with a late goal in the first period by Zach Werenski, assisted by Matthews, who plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. And then in the second period, Austin Matthews finally had the goal on the power play. The USA had a power play in the first period, but they kept passing the puck, and passing the puck like typical Mike Sullivan power plays when he used to be the head coach of the Penguins and used to have the power plays. They finally started scoring in the second half on the power plays, which led to a goal by Austin Matthews to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's just it was Quentin Hughes who plays for the Devils. And one of the Turak brothers. So that's good. And then Brock Faber had another goal. This is by Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Tkachuk. So both the Tkachuk brothers had the assist on Brock Faber's goal. Brock Faber is looking really good. He's one of the unknown players, but he made an impact last night, making it 5-1 at the 3-1 at the time, or 3-0 at the time. Excuse me. And it's Tage Thompson, the young guy from the Buffalo Sabres, who's looking really good, who I didn't really know about, but it's really hitting it off, had yet another goal. And it's by Dylan Larkin and Jacob Sanderson. Congratulations. And Austin Matthews had yet another goal. Austin Matthews is a captain, but luckily the last couple games, Austin Matthews has been coming through. He needs to score more goals, and the USA needs to score more, because Canada scored 10. But 5-1 against Germany is not bad. The USA, since they won their group stage, will get a bye to the next round, and will not play again until Tuesday in the quarterfinals, I think, to see who goes to the semifinals. A lot of people think that the United States, Team Canada, will be in the men's final race, final for gold. The men's final for gold. But we'll see. The USA needs to focus and keep winning. Last night we had a women's giant slalom final. Italy won gold, Norway won bronze, silver, and Sweden won bronze. In the men's biathlon, Sweden won gold, Norway won silver, and France won bronze. In the women's pursuit final, Italy won first, Norway won second, and Finland won third. In cross country skiing, Norway won first, France won second, and Italy won third. Italy's doing some good medals for the home country. And in Canada's Matt Kingsbury won the men's Mongol finals. In skeleton, Great Britain and Germany came in second and third. In women's large hill, Norway first and second. In snowboarding, Great Britain, Italy, and France came in first. The United States didn't get any goals last night, so let's hope they can get more goals today. Right now, in the medal tracker, the United States is still in third with 17. Italy, the home country, has 22. And Norway is in first place with 27 medals. Norway had 12 gold, 7 silver, and 8 bronze. The United States has 8 silver, the most silvers out of the top 3. They need to get more gold medals. They have a chance to get gold medal in hockey. As the women's won 5-0 today, again, against Sweden, and move on. And the women won the semifinal, move on to the finals on Thursday, I believe. But I'll let you know later on when I definitely know the game update and what time the USA gold game will be. But they won 5-0, and they're 6-0 in the playoffs so far. And they have not lost a game and let up a goal. Barnes scored the first goal, assisted by Kelly and Lee. Taylor Heist scored the second goal, assisted by Hannah and Abby. Abby Murphy scored the third goal, assisted by Hannah, Britt, and Haley. Kendall Kune scored the first goal, and then Haley scored the fifth goal. There was no goals in the third period. The USA scored 4 goals in the second period and 1 goal in the first period. They're looking really good. They're looking like the team to beat for gold. Maybe they might get another chance against Canada. And remember in Group Stage C what happened the first time to play Canada. The USA won 5-0 and shut out Canada. Will they do it again if they play them in the gold medal game? I don't know. I don't know who they're playing the gold medal game, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting time of the year to see what happens with Team USA, if they play Team Canada again. And at this time, Team Canada can get a goal past the goaltender for the United States, but has not let up a goal for the Women's Hockey League. I did not know how good these women's hockey players are. They're looking really dominant this year. That goaltender is really good for the Women's Hockey League. Like I said, she has not let up a goal all season, or all Winter Olympics, But last time the United States can get gold in women's hockey and gold in men's hockey. The last time the women's got gold in women's hockey, I think, was in 2018. Is when they got gold in women's hockey, and they always seem to be playing Germany they always seem to be playing Canada all the time in the women's hockey for the final. So it'll be kind of funny to play Canada again, and we'll see if Canada, like I said, can score this time. I guess Canada's playing Switzerland right now, and it's tied 0-0 at the end of the first in women's hockey. In men's hockey, but we'll see what happens to that. But like I said before, it's sad to see Jackson Winsky go, but if he goes to a different team, good luck in his future. The Pirates need to do better and have better hitters in their outfield. They need to have hitters that are constantly hitting and over 200. So when we have Paul Skeens in, he doesn't keep losing his games when we have bases loaded or people on base. The Pirates need to keep hitting. And I think this offseason is a lot better than last year. I think they finally are making some noise. I still believe that they need to get a third baseman and every day a third baseman, but there's still plenty of time until baseball starts. Catchers and pitchers have just started. Catchers and pitchers have just reported a couple weeks ago, and the first spring training game starts Saturday against the Baltimore Orioles for the Pirates. But let's hope they have a good season this year, and we'll talk more about the Pirates and talk about Info Combine stuff later on in these week's episodes, and talk more about the Olympics. The Olympics are pretty good. Let's hope we have more Olympics tonight. Also, more juicy gossip. Jake Paul, is engaged to a speed skater. Wow, from a different country, but she was pretty good. She came in second place in her event yesterday, but she is pretty fast. But congratulations to her. But this is Stache Sports episode 50 signing off. Thank you for watching, commenting. Thank you for watching, commenting, especially to my number one commenter. I need to know who that is. But thank you for watching and commenting on my videos. Please like and share. This is Stache Sports signing off.